Lightning like Steve McQueen. I'm in the fast lane when the light turns green. And I built tough, I ain't nothing but grit. Cause I made rugged blood, sweat, and spit. Yeah, like a horse I fly. Better push yourself in for a bumpy ride. I like to play hard, but I work harder. And I weather the storm cause I'm built stronger.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. We are live. It is the Freight Coach Morning Show, the top morning show in transportation, coming to you guys every single weekday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central, to break down some industry headlines and, most importantly, provide some actual insight into what you can do with all of this information. At the end of the day, you guys, if you're new to this platform, you guys, this is my weekday live show, obviously. And again, like anybody who comes on this or my long form podcast interview, Coffee with the Freight Coach, they're all transportation professionals, you guys. There's no theory on any of this stuff. I only talk to people who are active in the day-to-day to bring you the information that you need so you can apply, utilize, and see a meaningful difference in your business and your life. It's one of the many reasons why I proudly fly this American flag behind me every single day, you guys, because not only are we the greatest nation on earth, I'm living my American dream, and I want to help each and every one of you guys live your American dream as well through actual sweat equity that everybody who puts in, comes onto the show and puts in. Before we jump into any of that stuff, you guys, I don't know if we'll make it all 30 minutes today because it's the holiday, but I got to give a shout out to my friends over at VHub, you guys, before we do anything. VHubApp.com. Whether you're a broker, carrier, or a shipper, you should never have to shut your operation down, or we all need access to trailers. For my small, like Whitney Young, who's in the audience right now, he's a driver out there. He should never have to shut his operation down because he has a trailer in the shop, or any of my other driver friends who watch this show. You can get onto VHub, you guys, and the best part about it, you get paid to move these trailers. All right, so that's on top of the freight that you can get by loading these trailers out. You get paid to do it. So if you have Canadian authority, you guys, you can grab one over in Glade Spring, Virginia, and get paid $18.50 to move this up to Delta, British Columbia. That's on top of the revenue that you get by loading that trailer out. They also have West Valley City, Utah, going up to Calgary, Alberta. You get $15.50 to move that. They also have Paragould, Arkansas, going to Orting, Washington, which is just outside of Tacoma. You get $15.50 US to move that trailer. They have Galt, California, going to Hutchins, Texas, $500 to move that. And then this is brought back on. They got more of these out in San Diego, California, going to Houston, Texas, you guys, $1,400 US to do that. And that's on top of the revenue by loading out that trailer, you guys. So hit them up, vhubapp.com. My friend Xavier Campos and Stacy Steen, they'll be in the audience, you guys. Just do me a favor. Let them know that the Freight Coach sent you. Whitney Young is in the house. Thank you for joining here. Merry Christmas to you as well, Whitney. I hope you're back home out there in Utah enjoying some time with your family and your loved ones. Drew Driscoll, that's right, baby. If freight's moving, the Freight Coach is spewing the shit out here on his content. I have to, man. Arun Deep, what's up, brother? Superb morning to you. Caroline Lyle, the myth, the legend that she is. Merry Christmas to you. Let's fucking go. April Maroney, what's going on? Merry Christmas Eve. I like the extra Eve that you put in there. Let's fucking go. Thanks for joining. Sunny Sharma, Orange Shirt Gang. Let's fucking go. You are right. It is an Orange Shirt Gang. Again, I don't know if we're going to make it all 30 minutes today. I got a normal show and everything. But, you know, before we break down any articles and jump into anything, got to give a shout out to our brave men and women who are protecting us in our military across the world right now. Shout out to every single one of them for keeping us safe and the sacrifice that them and their families are making right now. We got to give a moment for them and appreciate them, because without what they do for us, none of this is possible. You guys, none of this is possible without our brave men and women who are keeping us safe around the world, that are selflessly giving up their lives in certain situations to keep us safe. And that's why we have to do our job here in America to keep America. You know, you got to put your best foot forward, be the best version of yourself, because it all starts with you. You know, I've been thinking about a lot of this. We actually crushed the goal that my brother had set up from the Make-A-Wish Foundation for Southern Nevada. You know, obviously I put that out there. My nephew is a recipient of that. He got his outdoor wheelchair, and we're raising money for a marathon that they're doing out there, you guys. And like, think about, like, again, the power of the person and the individual. We raised so much money, you guys, that the director of the Make-A-Wish Foundation for Southern Nevada reached out to him last night and was like, hey, what happened? Like, you raised a lot of money really quick. And that's because of like the transportation professionals, you guys, who all gave back. And again, like all the money that we're raising for this, because this event is in February, you guys, the post is up on my page and everything. If you got $1 or if you see the post and you can at least share it and it gets it in front of people, that helps out as well. But we were able to raise a lot of money really quick, and all of the money raised goes directly to the organization. Okay. It doesn't go to my brother for like supplies to train or anything like that for the marathon that he's doing up in the mountains. It all goes directly to that organization. And, that's how great everybody is in this industry. And that's how I feel about this country as a whole, is there's so many more positive people out there that want to help, that are going to put their best foot forward, that's where it all starts with me. And that's why, it's one of those things that's why I keep coming back every single day is, man, I'm just a guy out here trying to bring information to people to add value to people's operations and lives, and to give back in any way that I possibly can. And, fortunately, business was really good this year, and I was able to donate a lot of money this year. And that's the thing. That's the beauty of what this mission is, the network of people that we're building up, is we're here to support people. We're here to change the industry as a whole. And frankly, that's going to lead to changing this country and getting it back to the way that we all grew up loving. And so that being said, this is 185th live show that we're doing right now, you guys. 185th. It's fucking insane. It came by quick. But it's also that subtle reminder, think about this weekend while you're all sitting around the fire or whatever with your family. There's going to be a driver who's going to be denied access to a shower somewhere, food somewhere, or a bathroom somewhere. So think about that. That's why we're going to continuously bring this stuff up every single live show that we do, is because I don't do this shit for vanity metrics, you guys. At the end of the day, I could give two shits less about vanity metrics. I'm here to actually change this industry. So again, think about that while you're out there enjoying your time. Also, please do not shoot the messenger, but this is your subtle reminder that diesel is $4.59 a gallon nationwide right now. It's up 97 cents year over year. Let's keep pushing that down. Hopefully give us some relief at the pump. And Sunny Sharma, exactly. Everyone that has served and is currently serving, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks is not enough for all of that. All right. We're going to get into the first article, and it is going to be from fleetowner.com, and 5 good things, trucking's 2022 holiday season of giving. First and foremost, before we lead in, you got to give a shout out to every single driver who is out there braving the elements that are just obliterating the country right now with weather. And they're out there driving in it. They're out there spending this weekend away. And again, if you're newer to this show, or, you've been listening for a while and you haven't heard this, like my dad, I'm from a family of truck drivers, great grandparents, father, grandparents, like everybody's been involved in this industry for a long time. And I remember multiple Christmases where the old man was gone working during this time. And, again, it's just back down to appreciating what people do. My dad loved to drive, and he missed a lot of events growing up. And again, it's back to while we're out there celebrating with our families, there are people out there who are working to keep this country moving. It is our drive. Like, this show is on the transportation industry as a whole, but it's not just them. There are the warehouse workers that are out there, the garbage men and women that are out there, the store clerks, everything else. Show some fucking appreciation. That's what I really want to see. Show some appreciation for these people who are out there busting their ass to give us what we need to continue to operate as a society and as a whole. And, with this being a trucking show, that's why we got to start with our drivers, thanking them for being away from their families out there. And, everything else is, again, go above and beyond this weekend more than ever, just go above and beyond. You guys, thank you goes so much further, and showing an actual amount of appreciation goes a very long way out there. And again, it starts with the individual. You can always do more no matter what. And, especially if they're, again, no driver's life is worth a truckload. All right. So if you're one of those people out there pushing somebody, just drive through the weather, fuck you. That's not going to happen. Nobody's life is worth a truckload ever. If the driving conditions are not safe at all, they need to be off the road. Do a little bit more. What more can you do for them in these instances as well? Obviously, with it being a holiday weekend and everything, you guys find out some information so you're not blowing them up over the weekend. Take 5 seconds if you're a broker and call your drivers today. Find out where they're going to be parking their trucks at. See what they're going to be doing this weekend. Because again, we don't need to see that somebody stopped at their house for 10 minutes for fucking 2 days. And then you think that they're broken down and then you're blowing up their phone and they're just trying to enjoy Christmas with their family. So do that this weekend, you guys. Start there. All right. Start there. Do that so they can enjoy their time and with their holidays, just like we're all trying to as well. So again, take 5 seconds today because that's literally all it takes in the grand scheme of things. Take 5 seconds today to get this done so everybody can go home and enjoy their holiday. All right. Into the article. 5 good things from Trucking's 2022 of holiday season of giving. It's a time of year where people pause and reflect on the past 12 months, as well as looking forward to what 2023 might bring. Like every year, trucking delivered more than goods, but cheer and goodwill to those in need. We look at what trucking companies are doing to help others this holiday season, and we round up examples out there. Trucking gives the gift of bikes. XPO Logistics joined the Elves and More in surprising 1,400 children with the gift of a new bicycle. Think about that for a second. If you're, little kid, how awesome was it to get out there and get a bike? 1,400 kids, man, that small gesture could literally change somebody's life right there. Josephine Barisha, XPO's Chief Human Resource Officer, commented, "While it's bittersweet to see this annual tradition come to a close, we feel privileged to help Elves and More bring joy to over 20,000 children through our 16-year partnership." That's fantastic. And let me see. Tim House, he's the co-founder of Elves and More of Northeast Ohio, said XPO is a large part of our organization. And then they also thanked XPO driver Joe Caleri for introducing the company to Elves and More soon after the nonprofit was founded. And Caleri, who is a nationally recognized by XPO in 2020 for driving 3 million accident-free miles, noted, "I presented the idea of a partnerships and the stars aligned. We've taken care of the shipping of all of these years to and our employees pitch and to assemble the bikes and the children that there are not forgotten." And Holland for Hunger during the holidays, the ATG Advantage Trucker Group celebrated 10 years of giving back to communities by delivering more than 4,000 holiday meals to food pantries in Massachusetts via its Holland for Hunger program. They also distribute thousands of non-perishable meals through December to 6 hunger relief organizations near ATG locations in Mass, New Hampshire, and Vermont. And then, they're also military veteran trucker wins a Kenworth T680 Next Gen. Ashley Liva received the keys to Kenworth's T680 Next Gen as a prize for being selected as America's top military veteran rookie driver under the Transition Trucking Driving for Excellence campaign. For the 7th consecutive year, Kenworth employment software developer Fastport teamed up to reward the top candidate that's out there, and the award ceremony was held in DC. And in 2021, Leva retired from the U.S. Army and returned to her hometown of Corpus Christi, Texas. And after graduating from transportation training program, she and her brother began running the trucking business for their late mother and renamed it Naomi Trucking in her honor. That's what I love about, another thing that I love about this industry so much. And then also, TransService aids the Salvation Army, and for more than 50 years, TransService Logistics has delivered yearly holiday presents to their employees. And then children and grandchildren aged newborn to 13 at their facilities across North America. Their corporate office team feels that their true holiday spirit, be able to wrap these presents out there. And then Trucking celebrates a year of charitable giving. Trucking Moves America Forward has shared the many ways that the trucking industry gave back to its communities and charities in its holiday season. And below is a list. And then the trucking industry is one service from delivering the essential goods to keep communities well stocked and supplied throughout the year. And below is a list of how trucking companies and organizations gave back. And it just lists off a bunch of stuff, a bunch of different trucking companies that are out there. And again, I got to also bring up Wreaths Across America. I was out there on December 17th, and this industry came out in droves for that. Like I interviewed them for the podcast, and it was insane. it was an insane experience. And then also interviewing for the podcast and knowing that like 700 truckloads of wreaths were all donated by the industry. There was a lot of fleets of all sizes that donated their trucks in time to go and get these wreaths out there. And then being at the actual events at the cemetery was insane. I brought my son out there and we were able to spend about an hour of that. So again, you guys, it's not always about a monetary way of giving back. Organizations need volunteers as much as possible, and not just around the holidays. So again, it's always going to start with us. And that's what, what I love the most about this industry is we always step up in these moments. We always step up and come together because this industry is just full of hardworking, blue collar, salt of the earth people who just want to work their asses off and provide for their families. That's why I love this industry more than anything. That article was from fleetowner.com. 5 good things that they highlighted. Obviously, there's a lot more than 5 good things that this industry has done this year. Yep, Caroline, amen to that. Pray for all the drivers out there to stay safe who are driving over this holiday weekend. Jimmy Bryant says amen. He's watching over on YouTube. And Sunny Sharma, their lives matter more than what's in the trailer. Yep, very true. Jimmy Bryant says it's crazy how much common sense isn't used. Common sense isn't so common, Jimmy. As the older I get, the more and more I'm realizing that common sense isn't very common. Anyways, I wanted to start off the show on a happy note. And we're also going to jump in. This article is from DAT. DAT.com. It's their blog. Dean Croak is the author of this article. He's going to be on a near episode on the podcast here as well, you guys. And we're talking about the dry van report, how the coastal imports shift to the East Coast, and how that continues following the shift from the U.S. West to East Coast. Some ports are well positioned to make this permanent with growth plans on the horizon. Southern California's port, one such port is South Carolina, Port of Charleston. Last year, their port authority opened its new 1,400-foot berth at the Leatherman terminal and predicting that the floodgates will open, allowing much larger container vessels in the 20,000 TEUs category to add into its destination from the imports. And then according to their port's president and CEO, Barbara Melvin, it's a historic moment. And a monumental achievement. It's with the deepest harbor on the East Coast, and we can efficiently work mega container ships at any tide, and the investment will bring economic success to South Carolina for generations. The Market Watch about dry vans at about $1.95 per mile for outbound loads. Capacity tightened slightly in California last week, although last week's gain was only a penny per mile, the smallest weekly increase in the previous month. In Los Angeles, the most prominent spot market in the state, spot rates were up 4 cents a mile to $1.82 on the high volume lane north to Stockton. Rates were 21 cents a mile above November's average, $2.80 a mile last week. Loads east to Phoenix were flat at $2.76 a mile, the lowest in 12 months, while loads to Dallas were up to $1.72, which is just over 20 cents a mile out there as well. And then Laredo's largest, which is obviously the largest southern border market, load posts increased 12% week over week, pushing up spot rates by 2 cents to $1.84 a mile. Loads north to Omaha came at a premium as the region was hit by heavy snow. Loads from Laredo to Omaha were at $2.87 per mile, and they're 13 cents a mile higher year over year. That was out there. And again, like Tony Darnell was on the show on Tuesday. So if you're watching this on YouTube, just go back to Tuesday, or if you're watching this on or listening to this audio only replay on iTunes and Spotify under the Coffee with the Freight Coach podcast, it was on Tuesday's the Freight Coach Morning Show. And again, we talked about, if you're a driver out there, what you can do to go in and find that direct freight, because I know what the spot market looks like right now for some lanes that are out there. Again, I don't abide by the national average, because I know in my brokerage, for example, we're paying way above what reported as the national average, because that's just what the rate is. And again, I'm all about the long game with this, but again, he discussed in depth. He is a shipper, by the way. Tony Darnell is a shipper. Again, please don't blow up his inbox, you guys. But he gave very, very sound advice on, if you are an owner operator, how you can win direct freight from local shippers in your backyard. So I would go back there and listen to that. Because again, you guys, this show isn't just about sales and everything else. It's about how do we improve the industry. And I know in all the drivers that I talk to, finding that direct freight is something that they all want, and it is out there for them. And we talked about that. But that article, you guys, was from DAT.com, and it was their blog. It was the drive-in report. Always great information. I'm a big fan of Dean and Ken over there at DAT, and the information that they put out. DAT puts out a lot of solid information as a whole. And yeah, I would definitely check that article out. April Maroney, she had said, I was so impressed by how many children we saw during Race Across America. We volunteered in Ohio since we were traveling for the holiday. Great sense of pride. It was insane. And then because I had April, I was talking to a couple of buddies as well who were at, in different states, and they were just like completely taken back by how many people showed up, for that. And that's what's good. Like that's the real America right there, is the, thousands of volunteers that just show up on a Saturday to go out and do that. And that's what I love the most about that one. Let me see. Julia, Merry Christmas to all. Thanks for joining in, Julia. And Gary Johnson said, check out Rightload. This is going to be the greatest platform for direct freight, y'all. Love it. Check it out. All right. Third and final article that we're going to get to from FreightWaves, and it is Too Simple lays off 350 employees as its fortunes worsen. 25% of its workforce got laid off on Wednesday, the latest blow to the autonomous trucking pioneers' declining fortunes. Of the approximately 1,100 employees who remain, 80% are in research and development. Many are engineers critical to hardware and software. Too Simple forecast a $10 to $11 million charge to cover severance and other benefits for those being laid off. Most of the charges will be recognized in the fourth quarter. Sucks seeing. I hate seeing people lose their jobs no matter what. Scaling back operations, it says Too Simple has 97 trucks hauling freight with safety drivers, monitoring autonomous software. It plans to cut back freight expansion and drop unprofitable freight lanes. Freight hauling contributes to single-digit millions of dollars of their revenue quarterly. And it says that we must be prudent with our capital and operate as efficiently as possible, said CEO Cheng Liu. While I deeply regret the impact that this has on those affected, I believe it's a necessary step for Too Simple to continue down the path to commercialization. And then it's stage set with aggressive hiring after IPO, and it expanded quickly after it became the first of several autonomous trucking software to go public. An enterprise value of around $8 billion and a stock price of around $40 a share. Following its initial public offering, it would use much of the $1.1 billion that it raised to hire 400 new employees. And then in 30 days, since he returned to Too Simple as CEO, following the firing of the co-founder, Liu is overseeing the executive chairman, Mo Chen, and naming 3 independent directors. It closed Wednesday at $1.40 a share, and its market capitalization sunk to $337 million as a whole. It's always sucks seeing people lose their jobs. But again, I don't know. I hate for the fact that people lost their jobs, but there's a lot of career opportunities that are out there, you guys. So don't take this as, I know, especially it's shitty timing, no matter what. Like, it doesn't matter. It sucks that it's around Christmas and everything else. It's never a good time to get laid off or anything like that, but it's not the end of the world. People are going to hire. If you're a good employee, if you're a quality employee, you will find a job out there. Trucking's always looking for quality individuals. This might be that time, and fuck it. If this is that time, there's no better time than now if you want to go after your dreams and start something. So it's all about how you perceive the situation itself. So again, you guys, that article is from freightwaves.com talking about Too Simple laying off 350 employees as its fortunes worsen. And as always, you guys, all the links to the articles that I break down are posted up on the Freight Coach YouTube channel, as well as the audio only podcast on iTunes and Spotify, Coffee with the Freight Coach. Again, check them out. If you guys do go over to those other platforms, do your boys solid. Subscribe, share it out there at the end of the day, because that's just how we're growing, and we're legitimately the largest top podcast / live show in the transportation industry. And it's because each and every one of you guys who are showing this show repeatedly. But yeah, that's kind of it for today. We made it 25 minutes. I didn't know if we were even going to make it this long with the holiday. I want to be mindful of all of your time. I know all of my listeners out on the East Coast are like, shut the fuck up already. My half day is about done and I'm getting home. But again, shout out to all the drivers who are bearing the elements this weekend and keeping this country moving over the holiday and sacrificing that time away. This guy who's spewing into a mic right now gets it from the perspective that my old man drove for a very long time and missed out on a lot of those times. And it doesn't go unnoticed, you guys. So thank you all for that. And especially all the warehouse workers and everybody else who's going to be putting in the time this weekend to keep this country moving. Show that appreciation, you guys, and everything. Merry Christmas to you all. I hope you guys can all take this time and enjoy this holiday with your family and your loved ones, you guys. Merry Christmas. I appreciate you guys all so much for everything, all the support. I love you guys all, and we'll talk to you guys on Monday. We'll be back 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central, the Freight Coach Morning Show, the top morning show in transportation. I appreciate you. I love you, and we'll talk to you soon.